Hi, I'm Jay Fallon, and this is the Slippery Slope podcast. So, 3 years ago, I warned, using Klaus Schwab's own words, that we should expect a loss of income as the global economy is restructured. This wasn't my opinion. That's what Schwab himself openly states. He's openly stating the plan. And now in 2026, the Albanese government has delivered a federal budget that guarantees exactly that: a loss of income, a loss of independence, and a loss of national resilience. This isn't incompetence on their behalf. This isn't mismanagement. This is alignment with the Great Reset agenda. I've been exposing this for a couple of years now, so let's break it down. Let's look at what Schwab said and why it matters now.
Got my eyes straight ahead, got my head in the game. With the red light on, I'm just waiting for the change. Keep my head down low.
In my earlier episode, which was titled Expect a Loss of Income, I highlighted Schwab's blunt admission. He intends to destroy the current system and to replace it with a new one no one asked for. He frames economic decline as necessary. He frames hardship as progress, and he frames restructuring as inevitable. And he does it with the confidence of a man who believes he has a mandate from heaven, when in reality, he rejects the God who actually holds authority. Schwab's vision for the fourth industrial revolution requires a weakened middle class, a dependent population, a crisis driven justification for centralization, and a transition away from private ownership. You cannot reset a system unless you first break it. And that brings us to Australia's 2026 budget. So, in another episode, I showed Schwab praising China as the role model for the world. A role model, really, seriously. This is the same China that disappears protesters on camera, the same China that crushes dissent, the same China that uses digital surveillance to enforce obedience. When the architect of the Great Reset praises authoritarianism, you should expect authoritarian outcomes. And what do we see in Australia? We see increasing government control, expanding bureaucracy, centralized decision making, censorship through misinformation laws, and economic pressure used to shape behavior. This is not accidental, this is ideological alignment. So let's look back at Davos 2023. The agenda was always clear. In my Davos 2023 episode, I walked through the WEF's obsession with ESG, decarbonisation, digital identity, censorship, population control, and the so-called equitable transition. Equitable, not so equitable. I said then, and it's even clearer now, that these policies are not about equality or sustainability. They are about control. Stakeholder capitalism, this is a facade for elite consolidation. Equity, it's a euphemism for enforced dependency. And decarbonisation is actually a mechanism for rationing energy and restricting economic freedom. And now in 2026, the Albanese government has delivered a budget that reads like it was drafted in Davos. So let's look at the 2026 Australian budget, which is destruction by design. Let's be honest, this budget is not a plan for prosperity. It is a plan for managed decline. It increases taxes. It increases spending, immigration, debt, welfare dependency, and government size. And it decreases productivity, private investment, disposable income, home ownership, energy security, and national resilience. Even mainstream outlets, which are not exactly bastions of conservative thought, are calling it disgraceful, dishonest, and unethical. a tax raid, and economically incoherent. This is not incompetence. This is not accidental. This is intentional destabilization. Because if you want to usher in a great reset, you must first break the system that stands in the way. And Australia's economy, which was once one of the most resilient in the world, is being systematically weakened. So the pattern is crisis, dependency, and control. Look at the pattern. You got fuel crisis, use less, rely on government planning. Energy crisis, transition to controlled, rationed systems. Housing crisis, you'll own nothing and you'll be happy. Cost of living crisis, government payments will save you. Debt crisis, we need global coordination. And let's not forget the little planned crisis with the Jabiluka that happened a couple of years ago. That crisis. Every crisis pushes Australians toward centralisation, compliance, digital control, and government dependency. Exactly what the Great Reset requires, exactly what Schwab predicted, exactly what the Albanese government is delivering. So let's look at the spiritual layer here, which is, in my opinion, the real battle. This is where we must step back and see the bigger picture. The Great Reset is not just political, it's not just economic, it is spiritual. Scripture warns us several times. Ephesians 5:11 says, expose the works of darkness. Proverbs 29:2, when the wicked rule, the people groan. And this latest budget report, the people are groaning. Daniel 2, God raises and removes kings. Human empires rise and fall. And Revelation 13 talks about the systems of economic control. They're not new and they are ancient. This was predicted a long time ago. The WEF's vision is a counterfeit kingdom, a kingdom built on fear, scarcity, and obedience to elites. God's kingdom is built on truth, freedom, and dignity. And when I say truth, I don't mean our truth and our opinion of what the truth is. God's truth. Jesus is the truth, the way, and the life. One enslaves and one liberates, and that's why this matters. So Klaus Schwab told us to expect a loss of income. The Albanese government just delivered it. This budget doesn't fix anything, it breaks everything. And once the system is broken, the same people who broke it will offer you a new one, a digital one, a centralized one, a controlled one. But we don't just put our hope in governments or global elites. We put our hope in the God who sees every scheme of man. So stay informed, stay grounded in truth, and don't fall for the narrative that destruction is progress. As always, this is just my opinion. I'm Jay Fallon, and thank you for listening to the Slippery Slope podcast.
They just fuel a desire that will take me higher. I'm on fire because nothing's gonna bring me down. Nothing's gonna bring me down. Nothing's gonna stop me now. No one deals to be done. And nothing's gonna just focus on the goal. Nothing's gonna stop me now. Nothing's gonna hold me down. Got my eye on the prize. Gonna say